and today I'm going to be teaching you alternate picking. Now, alternate picking is a technique where you alternate between downstrokes and upstrokes while playing. And it's used in pretty much every music style. It's more prevalent in faster music. Metal especially, if you're a metal fan, it's probably the first thing you're going to want to learn. It's in pretty much every metal song I can think of. So basically, the first thing you have to get down is actually holding the pick. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what? Holding the pick? That's a weird thing to be thinking of. But a lot of people don't hold the pick properly. And I made that mistake when I was just learning, and it took me a while to get used to it. And you don't want to be making a mistake now and then have to fix it in the future. It's better to fix it now as you're starting out, and then you won't have to worry about it in the future. So, a lot of beginner guitarists, or even advanced guitarists, will hold the pick with their with their index finger and their middle finger on one side, and their thumb on the other, and they'll be playing like this. Now, the proper way to hold it is to have your index finger on one side, and your thumb on the other, no middle finger, and you want about 3, maybe even 5 millimeters on the bottom of the pick showing. So, but the main thing is you want at least one of these 3 fingers, pinky most likely, resting or almost resting on where, well, I don't have a pick guard, but where your pick guard would be. Okay, so that's the first thing. That ties into the next, which is you're going to be playing with your wrist, not your elbow. So you're not picking like this, because then you just look stupid. You want to be picking with your wrist. So that's pretty much the 2 main things that you have to get down before you can start getting your speed. So I'm going to show you just a little random riff here, just to show you alternate picking, and then I'll go over some techniques to practice it. Okay, so that was just a little riff. As you can see, I wasn't using my elbow as the joint to make the motion, but I was using my wrist. So what you want to do is you want to start out with something easy, maybe probably just playing one note. So just pick a random note on any string. I'm going to pick the 5th fret on my A, and you just want to start out slow. Just practice having your hand in that position, using only your wrist, and just move slowly. So just okay. Once you have that down, you can keep going faster and faster and faster. Now, once you start to get faster, you might want to palm mute, and if you're not sure how to palm mute yet, then I have another video. You can check that one out after you see the rest of this one. So you're going to want to palm mute it for the reason that, well, here, I'll play without a palm mute, and you'll see it's sort of messy sounding. And it doesn't really sound that clean. But when you add in a palm mute, it makes it sound much cleaner. So those are pretty much the 3 main things to do with alternate picking. And basically, for practice, once you get those down, it doesn't get much harder from there. The only way it can get harder is playing chords in between alternate picking, like I was in that in the little riff I played earlier. So like doing these kinds of things, like playing because those you're going to be taking one of your alternate pickings, and you're going to be taking and doing 2 notes at the same time. So then the only other thing, And this is still, it's still probably the hardest thing that you can do with alternate picking, and I still find it the hardest thing, is alternate picking but changing strings while you're doing it. So not just alternate picking on one string, but say you have a note on this string, then moving to another one, then moving to the next one, and then moving back up and moving all over the place. It gets a lot harder because you're not just strumming, you also have to move your fingers and move your hand onto the right string, and it's not just keeping it on one string. And that's really the hardest it can get. Once you get it down, it's just going to click one of those days. You're going to be playing, and it's going to be really slow, and you might even get mad at yourself. And the next day, you'll wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden you'll just pick up your guitar, and you'll just be great at it. And that's what happened to me. I was playing, I don't know if you're familiar with the song, The Sound of Truth by As I Lay Dying. Couldn't get those extra zeros there in the beginning. And I got really mad at myself, and well, I'd never throw my guitar, but and just all of a sudden the next day, woke up in the morning, just played for about an hour, and got it down. So it's all just a matter of practicing, and take a little bit of time, but you'll get it down eventually. And thanks for watching this video. Rate, comment, and subscribe.